Against Miguel Rodriguez. Marquez has won 11 in a row, and here's a look at he against Julio Portillo. This kid has that can't-miss label, Rich Morata.
Well, Tommy's a terrific prospect. There's no question about it. Tremendous potential. He's got great connections in his corner. And as you can see with that knockout victory in 6 rounds here over Julio Cesar Portillo, this kid can whack.
Nacho Beristain is the man who's in his corner and, of course, guiding his future. His opponent tonight, Miguel Rodriguez, doesn't have a very good record. He's 4-6-4. He's been in against some tough guys. He's from Puerto Rico. He's on a losing streak, but he is a very tough fighter. And according to our information, in every one of the fights he's involved with, he really gives his best. Here's Jimmy London Jr. for the introduction.
Well, fans, this bout coming your way is another one of our featured attractions, scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. This time, we move into the featherweight division. I introduce to you our referee in charge of this bout, Jose Cobian. Presenting to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim. He hails from Toa Alta, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at 126 pounds with a record of 4 wins, 6 losses, and 4 draws. He has 1 win coming by way of knockout. Introducing Miguel Rodriguez. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round attraction. He is wearing black trunks with red trim and fighting out of Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He's weighed 125 3/4 pounds with a fine record of 11 wins and only 1 defeat. He has 8 wins coming by way of knockout. How about a hand for Juan Manuel Marquez? And once again, here's our referee in charge, Jose Cobian, now to give instructions.
Are you ready to give you previous instructions on the dressing room? Have any questions? Shake hands and go back to your corners.
Tail to the tape, Marquez is 5'7", as is Rodriguez. There's only 3/4 of a pound difference in their featherweight fighting trim. Rodriguez is 8 years older, and in the reach department, each man 68 inches. Marquez, we've seen him in the past. He lost his first pro fight. He's the young man in black trimmed in red, and then has won 11 in a row. He's got 8 knockout victories, and they say this kid has got all the talent in the world. And, of course, the featherweight division just lost a champion. They got a new one, didn't they, the other day?
Yeah, I still can't believe that. Cabrera Gonzalez, who I thought, after what we saw of him this year, he had a great fight. We saw at the in Anaheim at the Pond against Luis Espinosa when he successfully defended after wiping out Kevin Kelly in his previous fight. I thought this guy's going to be champion for a long time. And to see him lose to Manuel Medina, who is not a bad fighter, Tom, but basically I thought it turned into, at this stage of his career, into a journeyman.
Yep.
It's just a shock. Hard to believe.
Kind of an opponent and a nice one to have on the resume and put it in the win column, that type of thing. But Medina surprised everybody, not the least of which was Cabrera, that took his title away from him.
And we've seen Marquez on a couple of occasions, Tom. We saw him. He made a sensational debut in Caesar's Palace here, where he scored a 4th-round KO over Israel Gonzalez. He looked fantastic on that night. He's fought a couple of times since then. We saw his 6th-round KO over Julio Cesar Portillo. And so he's a kid who's, developing along the way. You mentioned he lost his first fight. That was by disqualification on a headbutt. Since then, they haven't been able to touch him.
He, by virtue of the fact that he's so good, there's a left hand that sends Rodriguez. Miguel went on the back of his lap and he slid almost off the ring into the ring apron right in front of us here. Jose Cobian says, "You're okay." He says, "I'm fine. Let me at him." And a knockdown here in round number 1 for Marquez. By virtue of the fact that his fights seldom go very long, why he's only gone past 8 rounds once. But he is a prohibitive favorite tonight. Marquez, he's in against a guy who fights well, fights hard, but for the most part, fights in vain. He just can't quite seem to get a win.
Yeah, I'm looking at Miguel Rodriguez up there, and he looks to me like a guy who knows what he's doing in the ring, Tom. It looks like he's got some style to him. His record wouldn't indicate that. As you mentioned, 4-6-4 so far in his career. But, I looked at his record and saw the guys that he was fighting.
Oh, man, he just got hit with a right hand that turned him sideways, and there's another one. And he's hanging on now and goes down. And Cobian is going to stop it. Kobian is going to stop it. Oh, well, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Can't miss. Described it right, Tom.
What a label he's got. What a punch. Unbelievable. And I'll tell you, Rodriguez has got a pretty good chin. He took a left and then a right, and down he went, and he got back up. Rubber leg, to be sure, game. But I think wisely enough that Kobian stepped in to stop it because he was just fair game. Look at that kid.
Tom, I didn't think this first knockdown was too treacherous ground as he was moving in was Marquez, and I thought Rodriguez was a little bit off of balance, went down, not too hard, but look at that right hand. That was a tremendous shot. That basically was the end of the fight right there. That right hand, he wobbled him badly and went in immediately to finish his man. And watch him go to the body there as well. Good intelligence by the fighter. The man was hanging on to him, so he shifted his attack to the body right there because he had no punching room to go to the head. So rather than go wild and miss punches to the head, he smartly went to the body, and that was all she wrote.
Now, when you look at him quickly, one quick facial look, is that Bobby Chacon we're looking at?
Yeah, let's look an awful lot like Bobby, and I wouldn't doubt he might be able to achieve that kind of success.
Well, he continues to win. That's now 12 in a row for Juan Marquez as he beats Rodriguez. Marquez is something else again. Can't miss. Well, we'll see. We'll be right back. Forum Boxing is brought to you by Beechwood-aged Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. And by West Coast Detectives. Transportation and protective services worldwide since 1922, headquartered in North Hollywood, California. Well, Juan Manuel Marquez, in devastating, electrifying fashion, knocks down Miguel Rodriguez in round number 1. He's now 12-1, 9 knockouts. There he is. Let's find out the official time. Jimmy Lennon Jr. will tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 30 seconds in round number 1. A referee in charge, Jose Kobian, stops the contest. He's the winner by way of knockout, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Well, he certainly shows a lot of talent, and maybe like Umarov, the man we saw a few moments ago, deserves some tougher competition. He certainly is up in that category, 12-1, and now 9 knockouts. And so far, every time we've seen him, he has been every bit as good as advertised. He's up there now with Fernando Paramo. Let's go to Fernando and find out how Marquez felt about that short little workout tonight. Fernando?
Juan Manuel, that was a tremendous display of power. Una excelente muestra de poder.
Pues, gracias a Dios se presentó la oportunidad para demostrar que tenemos poder y todo salió bien.
Says, thank God the opportunity came to display the power and everything came out okay. Was there any surprises for you in the fight? ¿Hubo alguna sorpresa por su parte en la pelea?
No, ninguna sorpresa más que un cabezazo aquí en la ceja izquierda que yo pensé que me había cortado, pero gracias a Dios no. Y pues, adelante, seguimos contra el puertorriqueño.
He says there was no surprises except he got butted in the left side of the brow. Luckily, he thought he was cut, but he wasn't. Lead us on to the end of the fight. Tell us what is going on. Dinos lo que está pasando al final del combate.
Pues ahí le finté el jab abajo, lo agarré con la derecha.
He said that he just faded underneath with the left and then hit it with the right.
Lo vi mal y lo seguí.
He said that he felt that he was in bad shape and went after him.
Se amarró y no me quedó más que pegarle abajo en el estómago.
He tried to tie him up, but he just went right after him. Sigue otra vez. Tell us again.
Ahí le conecté una derecha bastante sólida que se puso mal, ya iba mal, pero más. Y ahí se amarró, pero seguimos adelante pegándole, golpeándolo abajo.
So that's when he landed the good right hand, and after that he was on his way out. What happens to Marquez now? ¿Qué es lo que pasa contigo de aquí en adelante?
Pues aquí en adelante esperar la fecha para la próxima pelea y seguir entrenando, dándole duro para seguir demostrando lo que todavía tenemos aquí.
He has to go back to training and so he can come back and keep on showing what he has. Well, good luck again, congratulations, felicidades y buena suerte.
Buenas noches, gracias, y quisiera mandar un saludo a mi padre y a mi madre que me están viendo y muchos besos a la familia.
Lots of kisses to the family. Wants to say hello to his mom and his dad that are also watching him. Back to the ringside.
All right, thank you. Boy, he is devastating, this youngster. He is only 12-1 now. think we'll see him again. We got the teddy bear coming your way. Stay tuned for him. By Budweiser, the official sponsor of the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. This Bud's for you. And by West Coast Detectives, transportation and protective services worldwide since 1922, headquartered in North Hollywood, California. Coming up, 10 rounds in the featherweight division. Juan Manuel Marquez, whom we've seen in the past, and he's a very interesting young fighter. He's in against Chong, who is an interesting guy. His father is Chinese, his mother Mexican. Says that he loves Mexican food, but he manages to have rice at every meal. This could be a very interesting fight. There's a look at Marquez. We saw him in Vegas a while ago, and both Rich and I were very impressed by him.
Yes, he's a terrific prospect, Tom. He's got good connections, and he seems to have the world out in front of him.
He did get a bit of a gift in his last outing here at the Great Western Forum. He was in against a very tough, capable fighter, Julian Wheeler. And although Wheeler was ahead on 2 of the judges' cards with 5 seconds left in the fight, the referee elected to stop it. And, of course, the decision went to Marquez. Here's Chong.
He was once a good fighter, Chong. Tom, trying to still get it back together. He looks all right standing there, but he has lost his last 6 fights. But he wants, and he's fought a lot of the really great fighters in his division down through the years.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. He'll handle the introductions.
Well, fans, this bout coming away, another one of our featured attractions scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. This time we feature featherweights in the ring. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, we have Chuck Hassett. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the